Hey folks, I am the Mighty Plantain, coming at you with this week's beer review. Got a little something from Dogfish Head this week. We have Pennsylvania Tuxedo, and in a first, I think, for a brewery. They're saying in collaboration with clothing company Woolrich, hence the plaid wool clothing on the figures in the bottle, and Pennsylvania Tuxedo, of course. That's a bit of a clothing reference there, not quite the Canadian tuxedo that we talk about here in Maine, which is all denim, but still a little bit of a caricature, but let's have some fun with it. So this is a pale ale brewed with green spruce tips, so I anticipate a lot of hoppiness to it. It sounds like they're going to play up the citrus characteristics and try and use that to play off some of the piney notes with the hops, and use the green spruce tips to really enhance that flavor and give us a really woodsy tasting beer. So let's find out what's going on there. While I'm opening this up and pouring it out, hit me up down below with a like and a share. And if you subscribe, you'll get a notification every time I post a new video. One of these days, I'll have enough subscribers to justify investing in some new audio equipment, and you won't hear that annoying buzz in the background coming from a combination of the refrigerator here in the kitchen and the fluorescent light up above, because I know that drives me nuts when I listen to the playback, and I'm sure you're not enjoying it either. So this is a very bit of an amber color to that. It's very golden, but there's some amber hints there that I wouldn't expect from a pale ale. Making me think that that's why they didn't go with IPA, just plain old pale ale. It's probably got more of a malt backbone to it, which is why there's a darker and more amber color than what I see in most IPAs or pale ales. Slightly effervescent. It's got a decent head on it for an IPA. I'm not very good at pouring and leaving a good head on it to begin with, so the fact that it's got anything on there at all is probably a good indication. A lot of citrus in that aroma. Good hints of pine coming through, although it could be the spruce that I'm smelling, because spruce and pine, when you break them and you smell that sap, they have a very similar aroma, and the piney notes from hops can easily be mistaken for a spruce smell from fresh spruce boughs. Like the aroma. I could sit here smelling this all day. It's almost good enough to cover up a bush fart. It's got a pretty heavy mouthfeel. I kind of like that because it feels like a very strong, thick beer. Really enjoying that. It's very smooth. In the aftertaste, I'm really getting that spruce. I know I mentioned that pine and spruce kind of smell similar, but there is a very subtle difference between the two, and it's very distinct in the taste of this beer. The spruce has an almost more sour aroma to it. I think that's actually coming through on the taste buds. In the taste, a slightly more soury pine, if that makes any sense to you. And that's just being complemented by some of the citrus characteristics of the hops. Overall, it is a very unique beer. If you like IPAs, you're definitely going to like this. It's a distinct change from a pale ale with the heavy hoppiness. It's got a very strong medium mouthfeel, which makes it heavier than I'm used to from an IPA. I know I keep coming back to IPA when they very clearly characterized it as a pale ale, but most pale ales are very close to IPAs. The only difference being the amount of hops being used in the brew, if I remember correctly. But it does have a very nice, strong heavier mouthfeel than you're used to. That spruce taste, it's piney, but it's not pine. And it's very distinctly different, being accentuated in that slightly sour pine taste by the sourness of the hops that are used in there, and along with that strong malt backbone, just gives it a really different characteristic. I'm actually going to hit this with a 5 out of 5. It's a very, very delightful, very unique tasting beer. I would definitely check it out if I were you. But that's just my opinion. Hit me up in the comments below if you agree or if you disagree. I'd like to know what you think. Check it out for yourself. While you're at it, if you've got a beer that you want to see reviewed, hit me up in the comments down below as well. Let's see what I can do to get them on board. I've got some really good suggestions that have kind of been put on the back burner for now until I can get Boosh around or some other folks to help me out. If you've got a beer that you brewed yourself, I definitely want to hear about that. Get in touch with me through the comments or the email link. We'll see what we can do about getting some of it in my hands, and I'll definitely get you at least 2 opinions on it, if not 3 or more. Until next time, folks, cheers. A little while back, we did a bit of a comparison with the Not Your Father's Hard Root Beer review.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for the beer, man. So, highly recommended by you. The Extreme Beer Fest this weekend. We'll be able to get a hold of, I believe it's the American